Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
We did not get to, obviously the Wakanda Forever trailer did come out Monday. I reacted to it by myself, and it is in that live stream that I did. We are going to react to it here, but we are also going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about Doctor Doom being in it and what that means in the connective tissue for Doctor Doom being in the MCU, and why I strongly believe, even when we read the plot leak back 2 months ago, why I strongly believed that Doctor Doom was going to be in this film. Not just because it's Doctor Doom and ooh, here's Doctor Doom to make you forget, T'Challa's not in the film.
Right.
Not that. Taking T'Challa, and I know this is hard to say, but taking the recast off the mind for just a second, how does this play into the wider implications that's currently going on in the MCU? And that's what Doctor Doom is. I mean, you have to think about, again, his role in Secret Wars, his role in Doom Wars when he infiltrated Wakanda. Secret Invasion, his role in Secret Invasion when he slipped into Wakanda. So, there's, and putting T'Challa in a coma and all that stuff. All that stuff just culminates into where we currently are within the MCU. I mean, the Fantastic Four played a role in Doom Wars and all that kind of thing. So,
of course, yes.
Deadpool played a role in Doom Wars. I'm not saying that we're about to get a Doom Wars film, but I do think that Wakanda Forever is going to be their adaptation of what they're trying to do with Doom Wars. I think we're going to see some things from Doom Wars sprinkled into that. Just like I think we're going to see some things from the whole issue from Secret Invasion when T'Challa did have a coma and everything like that. Or not, he didn't have a coma.
I almost feel like
they're
Secret Invasion.
Which one was that?
They're going to do the Doom Wars kind of like almost, I don't want to say off-screened in the background, but you know what I'm saying? We'll see a lot of events play out front. I think they're going to build to Doom actually doing what he's doing.
So we're going to get into this Wakanda Forever stuff because there are things I have to say. There are things I'm sure they're going to want to say. There are things I'm sure that you guys are going to want to say. So we're going to jump right into this trailer here. We'll look at it, talk about all the leaks and stuff like that, and move on from there.
This is a Planet Fanatixs exclusive.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper. They have lost their protector. Now is our time to strike. Show them who we are.
Okay.
You see how they even endorse it with like the Black Panther small as hell, like the Wakanda Forever big as fuck.
Yeah.
Are we back on mics?
Yeah, we're back on mics. So where do I start here with this one? Like I said, nothing. I'm not doing a recast. This is not a recast video. I'm not. Am I saying that? That's not me saying I'm not going to bring it up. But it's not tangents of recast right now. This is just talking about what's going on in Wakanda Forever. that I've loved both trailers. I think both trailers are good. Some of the imagery and symbolism in it I don't like, obviously with the stuff with T'Challa, but I do like the trailers. I think the music has been phenomenal. The shots that we've seen have been phenomenal. I love the dialogue from Winston Duke in this one. They do not call him General. They call him Kukulkan. The Feather Serpent God. I love it, bro. Right. I love it. Right. Fucking love it. Right. And I'm just like, and then you see Namor as he's saying that.
I just hope that like he's not one of the characters taking a backseat, because even whenever we were mainly talking about our first thoughts on the movie, I was the one wanting to see him in the suit, and I know it most likely won't happen. Or
I think it will.
It might, but it won't. I'm just hoping it won't be like. I want him to have screen time. I really do.
Well, I think he is going to have screen time. Again, when he's talking, I want to know, was that the Jabari tribe he's talking to? Because even in the...
Go back to it.
Even in the...
Because I feel like they show him a little... Yeah, they show him whenever he's...
I'm pretty sure it is the Jabari tribe that he's talking to, because even in the scene where Shuri drops down, she lands in the snow. So if she's landing in the snow, clearly they have to be up in the mountains with the Jabari, because we have to remember Wakanda's being flooded by Namor. Namor's going to flood Wakanda, and he's flooding Wakanda. They have to retreat higher up, and that's going to be in the Jabari mountains. Yep. So he could be talking to Wakanda there. He could be, he could be explaining it to Wakanda, being like, okay, they did not call him General, a king. I love that shit. I'm just like,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking when Namor comes in, he's going to fuck Wakanda.
He's OP. Yeah, he's going to fuck Wakanda.
Well, so okay, first of all, I do want to shout out, I don't know if you've seen this or not, so I don't know, it's not Gabor, I don't know how you say an A with the accent over it like that, but Major, appreciate, I love seeing people from all over the world getting on this channel. It is super dope to see that, and we appreciate it so fucking much. It's wild. We had Zambia the other day, like, it is nuts, and we love seeing you guys. The shout out London, we always, it's so fucking cool.
Oh man, I just read that whole thing you said. I cannot, and I cannot appreciate you enough. Thank you so much, bro. Like that the fact that it's getting all the way to Europe. That's what I'm saying. This movement,
yeah, dude,
it's huge. It's a huge movement. It's bigger than this channel. It's bigger. It's bigger than E-Man. Respectfully, he started it. It's bigger than E-Man. Yeah. It's bigger than Chad. It is
every time too that someone comes in here who is very for the movement, that finds us through the movement, not finds the movement through us. They're always die-hard comic book fans. They're always die-hard Black Panther fans, die-hard T'Challa fans. They know, and then it seems like everybody else who just comments some ignorant shit and never picked up a Black Panther comic today in their life, they learned about Black Panther through the movie. You know what I'm saying? Right. The comments of, well, Chadwick made the characters. Anyway, because we don't want to go down that road.
Yeah,
just about this
energy
trailer.
I have for Recast today.
There are 3 things that get me. First, I just fucking love Namor, dude. That opening quote where he says, only the most broken people make the best leaders, or can be, whatever. Dude, I've watched this trailer like 900 times to hear that fucking quote. He's badass. Every portrayal he's in this movie, he looks terrifyingly powerful.
No, seeing Namor after M'Baku says what he says, seeing him flutter there, and then seeing how agile he is in the air,
like he's having fun too,
moving through the shots being fired at him, man.
But he doesn't even look like he's trying there, man. It looks like he's just casually...
Whatever scene was shown at D23, it had... I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I believe it was the doors that were going up against him, and he was just... Move.
Yeah.
Move.
Well,
I'm just like, bro, that's...
That scene at the... And this is my second thing with this trailer. Is that 3. The second one is that shot where they're standing in front of the glass, seeing Namor come up. What the fuck? Move. Get the fuck out of the way. Because they probably think it's some fucking reinforced.
But I'll tell you this though. It might be reinforced because the Queen Ramonda's just standing there like, I wish a nigga would.
Yeah. But what I think is going to happen is he's going to hit it and they're going to see it start to crack or chip and go, oh fuck, and go to run. It's just my opinion.
Maybe so.
All I'm saying is Namor's coming at me like that.
But also, I feel you on that. That's cool. Namor being who you are. You're in Wakanda now, though.
Right.
You're around our tech now.
Right,
This ain't
right.
Atlantis. This is our tech.
Right.
We are the most technologically advanced nation in the world. You can throw your spear at our glass if you want to. It's going to bounce back.
Well, but I'm saying, seeing from the rest of the trailer where it gets flooded and they're clearly retreating, I think they're gonna think that.
I don't think.
And then
I
go,
don't think in that
"Oh,
moment
fuck."
that's what happens because I'm just saying Ramonda's
that might
face just
be
doesn't.
the dialogue over it or some shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he floods Wakanda in another way, but I just
Well,
don't.
you even hear him say he's coming for the surface level, so I think I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I think it's gonna start off with they send the people to like start drilling for vibranium down there, and maybe Namor thinks it's Wakanda. But it's really Doom sending whoever to do it, but he thinks it's Wakanda, so that's what makes him attack Wakanda.
I will say I
whatever.
do love what we've seen of Riri in this one, Riri Williams, because
Have you seen her full suit?
Yes.
Here it is right here. I got the leaked image.
oh, that looks fucking sick.
That shit.
That looks fucking dope. But I'm saying from the trailer, because the trailer is very. I mean, you start on a funeral note, right? You start on all this brokenness and sadness, and you're seeing Wakanda get, assaulted and people fighting against one another, and all of this seriousness going on, and then you just see her going full kid like Iron Man when she's whoa shooting off. Like, that's one of the highlights for me in this movie, where I'm looking forward to that level of, while all this weight is there, you are seeing the birth of a different hero that is like, holy shit, I'm flying, it's working. I do love that spark of youth in a superhero. It's the same thing of when Spider-Man gets excited, you know what I mean? So just in that trailer, that to me, every time I see it, it just makes me smile. That's what I'm saying. I think this movie is going to have so much to offer people.
It is, man, but T'Challa. But it is.
Yeah.
It is going to have a lot to offer for sure. There's just like I said, there's a lot that's going on in this film. But one thing I want to get to one of the things that we're going to get to here is that, again, the plot leak. We talked about this. We talked about this 2 months ago. I want to keep saying that. We talked about this 2 months ago about Doctor Doom, because remember I said we didn't really touch on the Doctor Doom post-credit scene because at that time I really wasn't trying to hear that shit, because I was like, you're just putting Doctor Doom in there to sprinkle da da da. At the time, my feelings toward it was jaded. But then I had to sit and think. And I was like, okay, Doctor Doom obviously makes sense, showing up in Wakanda right this time in the MCU, blah, 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 blah. And then we also talked about the multiple Black Panther suits. We said there were going to be multiple individuals in the Black Panther suit. And if you watch the trailer, when Namor is I think he's in the lab. I don't know where he is exactly. It looks like he's in the lab. When he's slamming his spear on the ground, there is another Black Panther behind him that drops in. Did you not see that? Do I need to go back to that? There's another Black Panther behind him.
I'll be watching it more. Like, my brain be working more after you tell me shit. Like, when I just watch it, I watch it to smile or to be, like, happy or something.
Let's see.
Whenever you tell me to look at something.
You be playing this trailer, I'll be watching it.
But one of the main things I know I'd said earlier, I don't think, after everything, I don't think M'Baku will be in it too long. But after everything, I think they're kind of going to need him to do it. If they do end up being flooded at surface level, you bring it up, they're going to have to go to the Jabari Mountains. I mean, I think they're going to have to offer it to him for him to kind of be like, okay, maybe they like to see how desperate they are. He's going to be like, okay, maybe they really do need me to.
Maybe and maybe not. And the only reason I say maybe not is because of his relationship currently with T'Challa. Understanding that the king is gone, that the queen mother is mourning, his sister is mourning, the nation is mourning, and the relationship they formed, I mean, which we saw that in Infinity War, because M'Baku didn't have to show up to help against Thanos, but he did because of his ally him being friends and allies with T'Challa at that time. So I think that he's going to look at it as this is not the Jabari's, or this is not just one individual tribe's problem. This is Wakanda's problem. So now I've got to take Wakanda up to the mountains under my wing, and then but I do definitely think we're going to see him in the suit. I really do. I don't think that we don't. I gotta find that scene.
Well, and I think it.
Chat. Y'all might be better than this at me. If you know exactly where that scene is in the trailer, where Namor's doing that, I forget exactly where that comes up at. Let me know. What were you gonna say?
Well, look at I get the multiple Black Panthers makes sense to me with what we're given
buddy,
here.
it does not to me.
No. With what we're given here, And the way I'm saying that is so T'Challa's gone. Who is now left to fill the main character role? It is Shuri. What has Shuri been known to do throughout the entirety of her run in the MCU? She's a tech person, right? I really feel like she is going to be building basically vibranium Black Panther suits, whether this is someone blessed by Bast or not.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's.
So we're talking
sure that's
one
what
of
she's
these
gonna
suits is the Mach 5 Tony Stark, and the other ones are weaker.
Well, because
suits.
the thing is, I don't even think they don't have any of the heart-shaped herbs from what we've
Right.
seen. I mean, Killmonger destroyed them all.
1 minute 28 seconds.
1 minute 28. Who said that?
Julian Flores.
Bet.
Shout out you, buddy. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere.
There it is.
Oh fuck!
There it is.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna play this shit real slow. Oh, there
yeah,
it was.
You see him creeping in.
Yeah,
You
there it
see him
was, right
creeping
there.
in.
Yep, to the right side.
Yep. Completely different mask.
Doesn't
it's not
have
the
the
same mask.
dots.
It does
Hey,
not
that
have
shit
the
is
war
crazy.
mark. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
You noticed that, or you
No,
saw someone? I was about to say
I didn't
you-
notice it.
I was about to say
I'm
you
never
had to
really
have been watching this.
Yeah, no, I'm never really that good at noticing
No,
things
these
like
are
that in
these
trailer.
are people will go from bring.
Yeah,
out
these
every-
are-
These
yeah,
are
these
people
are-
who dead ass watch the trailer.
Like New Rockstars. New
frame by
Rockstars were the
frame.
ones that saw this that I saw that from them, and I was like, oh shit, I did not catch that. But it's in line with the leaks. That's why I'm saying everything that we've seen, even the Killmonger thing. Now we know that since then there have been reshoots. They've done reshoots. They could have gone back and changed some things. But even some of the Killmonger things, of him showing up in the ancestral planes, I'm inclined to believe that because the things that the leak have said from 2 months ago are in line with the fucking trailers. It's in line. We're seeing multiple Black Panthers. Even the Black Panther there at the end of the first trailer, I don't know if that's Shuri's Black Panther or not. You know what I'm saying? That could be a completely different one, and there aren't any heart. There's no herbs right now. So what are they? They're gonna have to have.
I was gonna say that makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Actually made a lot of sense.
She's gonna have to. Now, do I like it?
No.
No,
Well,
I
see,
don't.
I even argue you don a suit that looks like the Black Panther, made of vibranium, without the blessing of Bast. Sure, it can enhance your movement and you are more resistant. That's fucking Namor. What the fuck does you wearing a vibranium suit matter if you are not blessed by the goddess to protect the land of Wakanda and given those powers?
But see,
So
we
is there-
also still don't know what role Bast, if any, is going to play in this.
True, I'm
I
just
was gonna
saying
say,
unless
so
they
is
get
there
the full
any-
T'Challa treatment, right? Bink. It's fucking Namor, bro. I mean, and I saw this in the comments and I agree. It's just like having Doom. It's just with Namor. You bring in these heavy hitters, these big namers, and you're taking out the one person in these comics that can truly stand against them.
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying.
fucking make
because
sense
the
to me.
king would not stand for this shit at all.
Yeah.
He would not stand for it.
I mean,
you know?
even if T'Challa, if they recast it, or if Chadwick had never died, or anything of the sort, if this was Black Panther 2 with T'Challa, right? I still feel like in a movie format, they would lose the first fight because they would be caught off guard, and T'Challa would kind of have to, you know, like any superhero movie ever, he's like, oh shit, I gotta go, you know, I gotta get that round 2. He caught me off guard, or I wasn't prepared for this and that, or I'm watching my people burn and was torn on what to do. Now I'm gonna get him back. But that first fight, Namor needs to be ragdolling people
I think
until
he is
they
going
realize,
to come
oh
through and
shit, we have to do something.
I think he is going to come through and do that, but I also, you know, like I said, it is Namor. It is Namor. Do not get me wrong, because even in the comics, it's Namor. But in the comics, Wakanda is still Wakanda.
Of course.
So, I know he's probably going to come
I'm
through and
just saying,
show
no
his
story's
might
good
for
without a
sure.
little bit of
Exactly,
drama.
exactly.
You know, you
He's
gotta
going
have
to
a
come
little bit
through
of
and show
law.
his
But
might
From
for
what
sure.
he was saying, he's not even the villain in this.
Right.
So
Right. And that's why I said, you know, I've seen some people saying out there, because Tanaka came out and said that he's not the villain, he's more of the anti-hero, people have been saying, oh, that for sure, that confirms Doom. No.
because Atum is still in the
Atum is still in the picture, and even in Doom Wars, Doom is more of the puppeteer here.
That's really what he is for most of the little, like, not all his main stories, but where he's the villain in like the side stories and stuff. That's what he does. Like he pulls strings.
Yeah, that
like
is
he's
Doom's thing. Unless he is directly confronted or has to do something.
Again, it goes back to, I always bring this up. Because it's my favorite, probably my favorite comic in the Secret Wars saga, which is Time Runs Out. And in Time Runs Out, Namor goes to Doom because the Cabal is put together. That's at that time Namor had gotten kicked out of the Illuminati because he had taken an incursion on himself and destroyed that world. So they were like, you know what? You got to bounce. That's not what we're about. So they got Namor out. Namor then built the Cabal. Once he built the Cabal and the Cabal started doing everything they were doing, they were going to different universes and or different worlds and pillaging them and torturing the heroes from that world, and then they were destroyed and everything. So it got out of control to where Namor then went to Doom and asked Doom. Doom knew about all this. Doom knew about all of this while all this is going on. Doom already knew about the incursions. Doom at that point was trying to find out, why are these incursions happening and how can I harness whatever power is out there doing all of this? So then that's when Doom found out to himself, oh, the Molecule Man is the fucking key to all of this? So I'm going to destroy the Molecule Man in every universe. Right. And then keep the one, but harness his power. But while he's doing all of that, then Namor comes to Latveria, asking him, hey, I need your help with the Cabal. Help me just get rid of the Cabal, all the steps are going on. Doom is like, bro, fuck off. You should have come to me first. Like, why did you not come to me first? You know, and then you're coming to me now because you want my help? No, that's beneath me. You should have come to me before. So, no, Doom is that's what I'm saying. He's a puppeteer here. I believe, even in my headcanon, I know that Marvel has said that didn't mean anything in Endgame, but in my headcanon, when Black Widow is talking to the little council that they built there, and they talk about the disturbance in the Atlantic Ocean, Okoye says we handle it by not handling it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what Marvel says. That's my headcanon. I believe that she was still talking about, nope, that's Namor, leave that shit the fuck alone. We don't fuck with Atlantis. They don't fuck with us. Leave them alone.
I wouldn't go fuck with that.
Yeah. So I think that when we do start moving into exactly what Doom, my guy never wants to stay up, exactly what Doom is going to be doing here, it's not the villain. It's not going to be the overall arcing villain of the film. Yeah. He is the puppet master here. He is manipulating things. He's even manipulating Namor. I believe even with the whole vibranium, drilling for vibranium, there's a point in the comics, like I said, Victor has a strong relationship with Damage Control. And we've seen Damage Control popping up so much more within the MCU. I'm not saying that could be a thing, but could that be Damage Control and the Broker that are trying to drill into the vibranium there via Victor helping them, and everything like that. So, I don't know. There's just a lot that is going on. There's a lot of stories.
It also, and I'm going to hate this if they do this in the movie, but it's depending on when, how, and if T'Challa passes away, right? Because all that does to Doom is he goes, Wakanda's weak? Wakanda's exposed?
Wakanda's open.
Exactly, and so he's going to go, I've always needed vibranium. That's Doom, and he's gonna go, I'm gonna get it. That's what he does.
But see, incursions are happening right now too.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw at the end of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Clea said, "Up, you caused an incursion, and you're gonna help me fix it." So Doom, I'm sure, is alerted. There's an incursion. Why? Why is there an incursion? What's going on? So let me get to the bottom of this. Oh, okay. So it's leading to this. Why? Okay, so I need, I'm just telling you, he's putting the pieces together because we are seeing the Secret Wars saga come together.
And not only is he putting the pieces together, it is Dr. Doom, and one thing Dr. Doom's good at is spitting it so it assists himself.
Yes, and that's the only reason.
He figures it out faster than most people. He manipulates it to his advantage, to where he gets the most out of it that he can.
Yep.
And that's what he does, and there are key moments. I mean, hell, there are even times in the story when Doom is... sometimes you see him align, very rarely, you'll see him align and do something that assists the heroes because...
No, you will, because it helps, it benefits him.
That's what I'm saying. Anytime you've seen, sometimes you have that's when people go from villains to anti-heroes to heroes over time, is I was evil, but I helped you maybe I can be good. Never think that's what Doom's doing.
Right.
If you ever see Doom working with a hero, which it's happened... he's doing something. Or he's like, oh, fuck, this is beyond, we gotta stop this now. Like, right. I don't give a shit this has to not happen.
Right. And, moving to there from the plot, like some of the things, again, like we said, these were the things that were there that, I'll quickly read some of this. It says, the film will open with a flashback sequence of a Spanish invasion of a colonization, which we know that, blah, 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 them, colonizing Atlantis, or what's it called? Talakon is what it's supposed to be called, something like that.
A lot of symbols in there.
Then it says in present. Then we're skipping past all that because we know what's happening there. It's just going to be a flashback sequence of what happens to Namor's people and everything like that. And then it says, in the present day, Riri Williams is a genius studying at MIT and has developed a device to find vibranium in the oceans, which I think that's where we're going to see, obviously, like Belle's team coming in, and she's going to be the one, maybe again with damage control, something like that, to where they're drilling for that. And it could be, again, linked to Victor, because Victor, again, has connections with just about everybody, with him being the person that he is. Then it goes on to say that Dr. Graham is using the device, and somehow that awakens Namor, who gets mad and kills Graham's team. He asks Wakanda for help to kill Riri next, but Wakanda refuses and protects Riri inside their borders.
So that could be the scene on the shore.
Could be, or you're talking about when he goes up to
Queen Ramonda, and he walks up, and he could be right there, like when she says, "We are protected. We're gonna hold her. We're gonna protect her ourselves," and he's like.
See, the thing is, one of the things I noticed about that scene, though, is she's still wearing white. So that's clearly after the funeral. She's still mourning.
True.
So, and I noticed, too, on that, there's no one around her. She's just on the beach. I said this in the live stream. I think that is her, because if he's not the villain, like he said he's not, he's an anti-hero, that's going to be the two kingdoms coming to talk. Like, okay, can we stop this shit? Whatever's going on, you're being manipulated, we're being manipulated to think that it's you, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Because there's no one around her. She's not being protected, and she's still in white. And that would be real fucked up if Namor came and fucked them up during mourning like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, well, the only reason why I was saying that is because...
he won't.
Is because, that the funeral happens, then he reaches out to her, she says, we're going to protect Riri. You know, because it also reinforces T'Challa wanting to open up Wakanda and this and that, and protect her.
I think that there's already going to be the little.
But what I'm saying is, if they had already had their conflict, she would never go on that shore alone with him if they were in open war.
Right.
I don't know. I just think if they were in open war, she wouldn't go out there alone. I think that's the moment where she says we're protecting her because of how he's like right beside her face. I feel like it's just he's threatening.
But I still think that can still go both ways, though. I still think because. After what you just said, you said that why would she go up there?
If he's already assaulted Wakanda,
because
why would she go there alone?
I am the queen of the most powerful nation in the world. I have lost my entire family. She has nothing else to lose.
True.
So me coming to face with the man that's trying to literally take out
the
rest of Wakanda. Who? She's the fucking queen.
I know.
Stay back. Or I could just go find another way to. Maybe there's secret. I don't know. She could get out.
I get you.
The shore by herself.
I just
Right. I'm just saying. I think that with that, I think it's more. Your idea is.
I just think it'd be a dope moment to see her stand up to Namor and go, "We are going to protect her," as T'Challa would have wanted, and just to see his whole like.
I think that's the scene with the glass where she's standing there like.
Fair. Yeah.
Do it. No, you can't. Yeah, you're in Wakanda now. This ain't Talakon or whatever. So I think that may be that. And then it says, did I just read that part? Yeah. When Namor first appears in Wakanda, he looks more like this, and that showed that once that there was that picture of him
in the full god gear.
Yeah. And it is during T'Challa. Oh, it is during T'Challa's funeral scene. How disrespectful. Who died from an illness. How disrespectful. The Namor. That Namor will make his entrance in Wakanda. Riri's role and screen time in the film is comparable to America Chavez and Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. Riri's first suit is made out of spare car parts, but she eventually gets a vibranium suit in Wakanda. She is the linchpin device and basically the reason the story happens, exactly like America in Multiverse of Madness. In Wakanda, Shuri has recreated the heart-shaped herb in her lab. So there that answer is. I forgot about that because honestly, when we read this 2 months ago, I wasn't so much focused on some of these other little things. I was more focused on how are you without T'Challa? What are you without T'Challa? All this kind of stuff.
Well, see, that goes back into me even saying there, where first I said, Shuri with her tech is going to be creating, because she's the main character on the front of the poster.
Right.
I either said she was going to be creating the Black Panther suits for everyone out of vibranium. This makes even more sense for her. Now she's recreating the fucking fruit itself.
Yeah, she's recreating the herb, so that makes sense. And then it says, and she said she would in the Wakanda Files official MCU tie-in book. Oh, okay. But she's not the only Black Panther. Here we go. Now if you go back to the video we did 2 months ago, or the video that I did solo talking about this, I touched a little bit more on the this part where it says she's not the only Black Panther. Some of the Dora Milaje have their own special enhanced suits with Okoye actually suiting up. So that could have been Okoye behind Namor. Or that could have been Okoye at the very first trailer where you see the claw come into the frame of the screen. Actually suiting up as Black Panther as well alongside Shuri. Now, again, I don't like that. I don't like it because, again, it's just like it reminds me. You get a super suit. You get a super suit. We all get fucking super suits. Everybody gets to be fucking Black Panther. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Raymond 2000 said it, and Shadow Raymond 2000, glad to have you here. The "We are all Black Panthers" bit is what they're doing here.
That's what they are.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
We are Flash.
Yeah,
we are Flash.
We are Sabotage.
And I can't stand that. There's not a Black Panthers core. There's not a Black Panthers team.
Cornelius, we don't fucking like it either.
It is literally the Black Panther. So I mean, that's like.
Oh no, this part down here makes me even madder.
You're giving the suit to anyone at that point, and it just makes no sense to me.
Like Cornelius says here, it's supposed to be sacred.
Thank you.
You're literally making it less important to be. I get it. On one hand, they're in their minds, they're like, we're showing everyone we can all be Black Panthers together.
Yeah, well, you can
fucking
fuck
hold
off.
hands and kumbaya and some shit. When it's like, nah,
this is not the Green Lantern's Corps, bro. Like, what are we doing? This is not the Thor. What is Thor's little or the Council of Reeds? There's not. We're not doing that.
Even still, there's the argument of. I mean, you can say that T'Challa blessed by Bast, right? But you can also look at it as, I don't give a fuck how many people are in Iron Man suits. Tony Stark knows how to pilot that bitch like you could never believe. You know what? He built the fucking thing. He knows. Here's T'Challa, right? Y'all can wear as many suits as you want. You're not T'Challa. You don't know how to do it.
I don't even want them to wear the suit. I don't want them to. Yeah. And like if it's Shuri making them, great, fantastic. She did that. That's what she does. But I just think if we're going to do it, if you're going to have someone else besides T'Challa don the suit, it just needs to be Shuri.
Or someone he gives approval while he can't for the moment, for whatever.
Yeah, or that. I've seen people saying like Nakia being, whatever. It makes more sense for Nakia to be it because she is not, as the MCU has established, Shuri is a tech. She's a lab rat. That's where she spends her time, in the lab. Nakia is a war dog. She has spent her time and a spy. She has spent her time out there fighting.
Then you go into the argument of but even my comparison with Iron Man. But this isn't people just piloting a metal suit to do battle. This is to them it is a sacred that you are literally connected and chosen by your protective God.
Right.
It is it's almost a spit in the face to that being reserved for the one chosen by your God to lead and protect your people.
Marvel doesn't. The MCU doesn't care about the Black Panther mythos. They don't care about how far back the Black Panther mythos goes and what it means and what this means and who should don this and who should. They don't care. They're doing whatever they feel is right for their MCU. And I just I disagree. I do not think that there should be multiple suits because at that point it's just like you're just doing it just to do it. You're just giving the suit just to everyone because you can. And I just disagree with that. I just think there needs to be the one. And again, this is why I had the whole issue with not recasting T'Challa, because you run into issues like this to where you're like, okay, well, we're not going to recast the main character, so what do we need to do? How can we still make this work? Well, let's give the suit to multiple individuals, and let's have multiple individuals, because if she's remaking the heart-shaped herb, then that means that obviously Okoye is going to have an enhanced suit, so she won't be taking the heart-shaped herb herself, but she'll have an enhanced suit. I still don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
And then it gets even worse if you want to continue on that. It gets worse.
Then it says Okoye will be in a same-sex relationship, probably with already cast LGBTQ Dora from the comics, Anika, played by Michaela Cole. And then it says
that next one right here. This is where I fucking chat. Back me up, because this is bullshit.
Once Shuri takes the herb, she expects to see T'Challa in the ancestral plane, but she sees Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger, who helps her become the new Black Panther.
How you gonna help her be something she ain't ever felt? Why would her brother not be there? That does not make sense.
It's beyond me. I can't continue to rant on that spot right there as many times as I've already had. I can't continue now. I will continue if it actually happens in the film, but until I see that scene, because for me that seems bullshit. I can take that whole thing and toss it.
Out of all of this, out of everything they're doing, right, I can at least, while I disagree with it entirely, while I think it is a bad idea, do not do any of what they're doing, I can accept everything as okay, you are killing T'Challa, and here's the ramifications. But the fucking Killmonger in the ancestral planes teaching her to be the Black. He was never the fucking Black Panther.
What up, cuz? I know I just tried to kill you.
He was never the Black Panther. What the fuck is he doing in the ancestral planes? And the biggest argument to me is, why are you even going to the ancestral planes if T'Challa's not going to be there? Would he not be there for his people? Did he die? Are you saying even in the afterlife he doesn't give a fuck about Wakanda? What are you saying?
T'Challa is the king of the dead. He could resurrect himself. But that's neither here nor there.
I know, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Right.
That turns into, does T'Challa not give a shit about his sister's life and success? You know what I'm saying? And you're shitting on my man. You are shitting on my man in the afterlife and what he would do for his own family at this point. That floors me.
That's why I just really can't wait to see how they. I just want to see how they do his funeral scene and how they actually pronounce his death or anything, or like how does Queen Ramona find out he died or whatever. I just want to see how they actually put that on screen and everything, because I feel like any way you do it, it's not gonna
cry.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's not gonna be anything to really any of us want to see. So
Angela Bassett makes me want to cry in the trailers alone. Just her facial expressions, how strong she's. First of all, and this is not, like I've always said this, probably not on the channel because when we ever talk about Angela Bassett, but she is my favorite actress. Like, it's her and Viola Davis is a close fucking second. But Angela Bassett is so fucking phenomenal in any role she plays in. And I do mean any role she plays in. She is so phenomenal. So seeing her facial expressions, the dialogue that she's using in this, like, I'm the queen of the most powerful nation in the world. From the last trailer when she's like, I hear the whispers, they've lost their protector. She's like, I love it. I love it. And I think she's really going to put this film on her shoulders as the now Queen of Wakanda. I mean, she was already the Queen of Wakanda, but the ruler of Wakanda at this point, and carry this film as far as like emotional and a lot of other things.
I'll give it to Major too. It would be an emotional thing. You could have the actor that played T'Chaka show up in the ancestral plane for his daughter.
Yeah.
And
that
be
would
there
make more
to
sense.
Comfort and coach his daughter, and you could even have a really emotional scene of them mourning the loss of T'Challa together, right? You could even say his spirit hasn't finished passing over.
The last time.
You know what I'm saying? Or you could even have Bast herself in the ancestral planes to teach her. With Killmonger.
What you're gonna see, I can't read.
Yeah, what did you
I ain't got my
hold on. Okay, so we're gonna move on here. Then this says Atuma, an exiled Atlantean who wants to become king of Atlantis. That's why Atuma is the villain. And Namor, is Atuma's cousin, will also appear. I'm sorry, Namora. Sorry, Namor's cousin will also appear in the film, and Atuma will fight with Okoye at some point. Then it says, this is the part right here. There's a huge war between Atlantis and Wakanda, where Wakanda is flooded, and Shuri and T'Challa's mom, Queen Ramonda, dies in the flood. Eventually, I'm going to touch on that. Hold on, because I did not. I read that the first time, and I might have touched on it, but hold on. Eventually, Shuri defeats Namor, but doesn't kill him. At the end, M'Baku becomes the new king, and most sources, like Casey Walsh and some other credible sources out there, believe that he will also become the definitive Black Panther, which was changed last minute due to Letitia Wright's anti-vax views, causing problems in the production. Daniel RPK says that M'Baku does become king, but Shuri continues to be the Black Panther. There's been a lot of reshoots. There's been a lot of this. There's been a lot of that. I want to touch on Queen Ramonda in just a second. There's been a lot of this. There's been a lot of that going on with a lot of changes to the film. I did see somebody, and to make a kind of lighter-hearted moment, I saw somebody say on Twitter, they said, the Shuri looks so sick in the suit. I love Twitter. Somebody says, probably because she wasn't vaxxed.
I've seen so much shit.
I was dying. That shit was so fucking funny. But we do know that Letitia Wright had problems, because there were, even if you remember, if you were on Twitter during that time when Letitia Wright had canceled or halted production of the film because she wasn't vaxxed, there was a hashtag going around that said, recast Shuri. People were wanting Shuri recast because Letitia was doing this or she was doing that. And at this point, Letitia also believed strongly, which she said, the film shouldn't even be made. She was liking tweets of people against the film. So I'm not above thinking that she probably might continue on as Black Panther, but M'Baku probably does take over because I mean, we just with all the reshoots and things like that, and just the things that Letitia Wright herself has come out and said, I don't know if she even wants to still do this. You know, she didn't even want this film to happen.
But I mean, yeah, and it's so rough with you start with T'Challa dying, then you have Queen Ramonda die. It's just like, holy.
So I'm gonna touch on that. Queen Ramonda fucking dying. Kill her if you want to. I will audibly walk out, and I will be audible all the way out because we're sitting at the top.
Once again, I do gotta tell you guys in the chat, and y'all gotta be aware of this. I
will be
am
audible.
sitting next to, because you got me, you, and Kellen's, right?
Yeah, all four of ours. All of ours.
And I've got to be sitting next to this motherfucker during this movie.
Kill her. I'm telling you, kill her. And I will audibly ruin it for everyone.
And I want everyone to know he's not joking.
I'm not. And we are sitting at the top.
joking.
So you know Warren Theaters. We are seeing it in the IMAX.
Every step down.
Yeah. At the top is where we're sitting. I will, on every step, make some type of something. Every step down. Because if you're telling me that you're killing the franchise's main character, then you're killing the woman's voice who we've heard the most in every trailer, who is now the ruler of Wakanda. What is it about Black Death that you find so fucking fascinating? Because if that happens, I might go up to the fucking screening room and take nobody's watching the movie. Movie over. Go home.
There's just
rewrite
no
this
need
shit.
for it.
There's no need.
Yeah,
there's no need.
But I'm just saying, I love and hate that I have to sit next to you for this film, because I know more than once you're going to go bullshit during this movie. I know you're going to cry during this movie, and I don't know if you'll make it to the end of this movie.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Do we see that in Coogler's writing though? I want to watch what Cornelius said. He said that's Coogler's writing. Do we see that in Coogler's writing? Him killing?
Oh, no, that also might be an actress who wants out.
No, but this is also. I know what he's saying on that though. What he's saying on that is Coogler was one of the ones that decided not to put T'Challa back in. Mm-hmm. It wasn't all on Marvel, I believe. I believe Nate Moore said him and Coogler decided within minutes. Not I went to Coogler after minutes of deciding and then I told him the decision. He said Coogler and I decided within minutes you won't see T'Challa back. So I understand though. I understand it was his friend. I get that. Yeah. But if Coogler was a fan of the comics like he says he is, if he's read the comics like he says he has, then he should know that there's not a way that you can tell any of these stories without the franchise's main character. Hence, one of the other topics we're going to be talking about today is Superman being back in Black Adam. Why? Because DC is realizing we can't fucking do this without our franchise's main character. You know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because we're going to talk about this, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson put out a statement saying how much the film would make, and I laughed at it. Because the promotion for the film has been shit. No one's talking about Black Adam. It wasn't until the screening of it, when people saw Henry Cavill in the post-credit scene, where people were like, "Oh my god."
I think he just
that's asses in the seats. That's the thing. I believe before the film comes out on the 21st that they do put out something else for it. We're going to talk about that. But regardless, what I'm saying is they're realizing they can't do this without the franchise's main character. So if Coogler is deciding, if he's one of the deciding factors here, that no, we don't need to put T'Challa in, but you say you understand the franchise and source material and the mythos of Black Panther, I have a hard time that you do. Because if you helped write this and you approved Queen Ramonda dying too,
Secret Wars, I wouldn't want.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of people talking about yes, Coogler would be perfect. Yeah, people have been saying Coogler would be perfect for Secret Wars. I don't know. Do we want to see T'Challa back? Because I don't know that he wants to put him back on the screen. Remember, he even said at one point he was so hurt by Chadwick's death, he's thought about stepping away from directing.
Yep.
So if he's going in with that much emotion, does he need to be helming this? That's not slapping him in the face on his emotion. You are valid on your emotion. You knew the brother. That was your friend. But with that, can you take a professional decision and say, maybe I need to step back? Right. I don't need to be directing this. Because if you're going in with the decisions, okay, we're going to kill this person, then we're just going to do whatever the fuck to Wakanda. Now he's doing a whole series too. He's directing the whole Wakanda series.
But I will say this, this isn't in Coogler's defense, but this is just like with we talked about what's his like the Multiverse of Madness and the guy writing, right?
Waldron,
yeah.
Coogler doesn't have full free reign. you are still making Feige gets the last say in all of this, right? So he can take the axe to anything he wants. He can say, you're not fucking doing this, right? If they didn't think this was a good idea, and my argument is, and this is what Feige looks at, this is why they get axed on so many things, is Feige has to go, okay, so at the end of this movie, there's no Queen Ramonda, there's no T'Challa, Shuri has the suit, M'Baku is king, which just kills me, and they talk about this child with T'Challa, right?
Oh, we don't get there yet.
But looking at what you're left with for this movie, right? And Feige's like, yeah, we can work with that in future projects. We can, like, that's what I don't get. This was greenlit by Marvel. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Because Feige goes, oh, you're leaving me with an actress who's very controversial over her vaccine, statements, things like that, as the Black Panther, our lead role. You have M'Baku as king. Like, they're not leaving you with anything to fucking play with. They're not leaving you with shit.
No.
And Marvel said, yes, this works.
Marvel said, yes, this works with a lot of dumb shit. I want to answer this from Ashura there that said, wasn't the reason to pass Shuri since 2018 because they wanted T'Challa dead when it made $1 billion. Chadwick was asked this. He said, I'm dead. Now I'll touch on that. That's no. In 2018, Marvel fully had Black Panther ready to lead the entire Avengers team. If you go, I don't want to pull it up right now. I can, but I'm not because I'm still reading this. So if you want to go to Google and you type in Black Panther 2018 Avengers leader, it'll pull up all the articles. All of those articles where he was supposed to be leading the Avengers team. They were never going to kill Chadwick or T'Challa off. That was never something that was in the cards or on the table. Now, the interview where he said, I am dead, it's because Chadwick, I don't know, I don't want to say that I'm in the man's mind, but I'm looking at it as a very cryptic interview. I looked at that as a very cryptic thing he said there when he said, I'm dead. That's because I believe he knew in reality, I'm on the way out. So I don't know how they're going to do the second film.
Right.
I believe that's what he was saying.
It's so crazy to me, too. So Q is going to share those links in the chat for you, Ashura, so you can kind of see what Marvel's overall plan was at that time. And I'll give you a further one. I read the other day a statement where Kevin Feige didn't fucking know until he was dying.
No, until he was dead.
Was it... Because I'm not sure if it was A, after he passed, or B, when he was on his deathbed and at home and the family was... All I know is I saw a thing where
I believe the family kept it very private.
I saw an interview where he said that he received an email. It's like the day he died. Either right before he passed or just after, regardless, it doesn't matter, where they said, he thought he would beat it. It's taken a turn for the worse. He's at home with his family. They wish for privacy right now. And, Kevin Feige is literally sitting there, I bet fucking shaking. Like, what? He's gone? He didn't tell anyone. So no one had plans to kill off T'Challa. Especially it was Marvel's first, you gotta take yourself back in time. It was their first $1 billion film. They were like, oh, hell no. You're about to lead the Avengers. You're about to be... The next phase is you, bud.
I saw something on Twitter, and I know you guys, because Cornelius, I know you saw it too, and I saw some other people had saw it as well. T'Challa himself in the MCU has only had, I think, an hour and 47 minutes of screen time.
And he's dying in most of them.
An hour and 47 minutes of screen time. And I have people that tell me, well, you've had him in 4 films. You had him in a TV show. I had him for an hour and 47 minutes if you want to be fucking exact. An hour and 47 minutes. Put that shit into perspective. The King in the MCU only reigned for an hour and 47 minutes. Yeah. So I don't want to hear all this about the handful of cameos in his movie and all that stuff. Like, you can miss me with that. Then we have here, it goes on to say, at the end, Nakia reveals to Shuri that she has a child with T'Challa. Now, I have a problem with that. Marvel plans for him to eventually take over the Black Panther mantle once he grows up. When the fuck did they have this kid? When was this child conceived? That's what I want to know. At what point did they lay down in the royal bed and conceive this child? Because he was blipped for the 5 years.
I brought that up I was made fun of because y'all said it took like seconds to make a child.
It does take seconds to make a
I'm
child.
just saying, but like when
would they have time?
Her 9 months, like she
like at what point with the glooming threat of Thanos destroying the world?
Like
not only that, but even with the glooming threat of Thanos about to destroy the world, at what point do you say, "Damn,
you want to be pregnant
looking good.
for the next 9 months?"
You look good. I know Thanos is doing what he's doing right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when would they have had time to conceive this child? So, and I have an issue with that. Not just with the whole when would they have time, but again, you're following the whole trope of the fatherless child thing in the black community. Why do we want to see that? Why do we want to see this child grow up without his father? And I've seen other people say, well, Peter Parker grew up without his father, and but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about T'Challa right now. We're talking about in the comics, that was Peter's story. He was supposed to grow up without his child. That's how it was written. Yep. In the comics with T'Challa, he is there for Azari. He is his father. He is there with his mother. They are a happily married family couple. Like, why the fuck are you making this thing to where it's like, okay, we're going to introduce this child, but he's going to be fatherless, and he's going to grow up fatherless. He's not going to have his father, the king, the Black Panther, on his throne to show him how to eventually take up the mantle. So I have a problem with that. That's the issues there with that one.
Yeah, and I'll address one thing real fast that Oshra said here about he would have told Disney. The only reason he said he would have told Disney if he was Chadwick, and I'll just say this: there were, from what I've read, there were some people, like I know Denzel Washington, I guess, saw him in one film, and was noticed how skinny he had gotten, how weak he had gotten, this and that, and people knew something was wrong, right? They knew something was wrong with
I
Chadwick.
figure something was wrong. But I don't remember what interview award show that was. Where he was wearing all blue.
The what?
Where he's wearing the all blue.
Mm-hmm. But I've seen a discussion with his, I think it was his brother, I can't remember exactly who, but basically, Chadwick fully believed he could beat it. In his mind, he was, I got this. It's not going to take me out. I got this. If it does, it does. But I got this. This isn't going to hold me down. This isn't going to distract me from what I'm doing, distract y'all from what you're doing. And then turn for the worst. You know what I'm saying? It was very fast. It was very quick. And I even posted a link in the chat for some people of Kevin Feige's. It was the day. No one knew. No one had any iota.
Yeah, no one knew.
You can be sick with multiple things and it not be this, right?
And then who in their right mind is going to come up to you and ask, "Are you sick?"
Right. Well, to the argument of should he have told Marvel?
No. I'm going to say no. And the reason I say no, because what goes on in my fucking house is my business.
Plus, the way these niggas leak shit.
I don't think he should have told them, but I do think, and this is looking back, so what, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I would have, and I'm not faulting him for not doing this. It would have made sense for him to write what he wanted to Marvel, or just, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard that said before.
Like a thank you for letting me do this, the mantle, you know what I'm saying? The same stuff he would say in interviews, this and that, la-da-da, right? But at the same time, we all think they're crazy for not recasting, right? We all think, like, what the fuck are you doing? He probably, of course they'll recast, is what he was thinking. And then whenever you're on your deathbed, that's not your first concern. Your first concern is your family, your mortality. Give this man a break. I'm not blaming him dying and what he did or didn't do. It ain't his fault, but I do get I kind of wish he would have at least had something to them. Write a letter, write a note, write a
something to
but
them,
I've heard it
just
was so
to let
fast.
them know. Something to them to let them know what was going on or whatever. I mean, then we have the last thing here. It says the post-credit scene. That's where we're going to get into the Doctor Doom stuff. The post-credit scene shows Doctor Doom in costume with a stand-in currently playing him, and is revealed that it was him who had orchestrated the Wakanda vs. Atlantis, again, pulling the strings, war all along. Now, in Doom Wars, when it came out in 2010, the whole thing with that was that you had the royal family. Like I said at the beginning, the royal family was dethroned. It was taken over, and it was all orchestrated by Doom. And Doom was in Wakanda trying to get vibranium out of the vault there, but little did T'Challa know and the Wakandans know that Doom had put nanobite cameras into the royal the palace's food and water and things like that. So literally, Storm, Shuri, the Queen Mother, everybody's walking around in their literal cameras, just spying on everything going on. So Doom is hearing everything. Doom knows everything that's going on in Wakanda. He knows the top secrets of Wakanda. Things that, you know, and knowing and also knowing that vibranium enhances his magic. That was something that Wakanda had never even told the outsiders about anything about that. They had never told him that it enhances magic, but that was something that Doom found out. So that's why one of the reasons that he wanted it. So then, of course, coming in at this time, Black Panther or T'Challa is not BP. Shuri is BP because this is after he had gotten, you know, jumped and then then put in a coma and for that time and all that kind of stuff. So the royal family is out. T'Challa goes to the X-Men. He's like, hey, look, the X-Men are trying to figure out what's going on with Storm anyway. But T'Challa goes to the X-Men like, we need, you know, this is what's going on. Need help. Blah, 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 blah. They eventually get in and take Doom down. But obviously not before Doom leaves. He's holding Storm and he's telling, you know, T'Challa, hey, you need to decide. What are you going to do? You're going to give me the vibranium. I'm going to kill Storm. Then T'Challa, being the king of Wakanda, he always says, I will put my people first. He said, kill her. And he says kill her, and you know, we'll do what we got to do from there. But little did T'Challa know, Doom had already taken the vibranium.
He just wanted to see
and then told T'Challa, this has been a fun game, but I gotta go. And then on the back of the vault, it just said checkmate. He wrote checkmate in the back of the vault where all the vibranium was gone. So, you know, Doom plays a major important role in the things going on currently in the MCU. Like I said, we talked about the incursions. We talked about his role in Secret Wars. Are we actually going to see him become Emperor God Doom? Or is the MCU going to swap Doom out for, like, Doom's major roles out in Secret Wars for King? I hope not. I hope that they both are there. I hope they are both there. I hope that we have two big bads because you just don't.
I don't know why people act like they can't do two.
Yeah,
like
people have been saying like no,
need their own phase. Or like,
yeah.
If they gave us both of them and gave us like a healthy mix of both, that'd be some shit for Marvel heroes to have to deal with to get both of them and then have all the incursions happening at the same time.
Well, and I think they can, because they are very linear. They are very, you know, here's Thanos, we got to deal with the Thanos, right? But in my opinion, you got the heroes staring down the villain, and you know the heroes are going to win, right? Well, what's a good way to shake and bake some shit, right? The heroes, not gonna say beat the big bad, but get away from him for a minute, like do something to tie it up, and then fucking Doom walks in the room, villain number 2, and it's like, oh fuck, they just doubled down, like that reaction of the heroes are spent, they're at their limit, and then it gets even worse. It makes the stakes so much higher. It makes you that much more, especially if it's a death scene. You know, if they barely hold off Kang, I'm saying hold him off. Not kill him, not beat him, but hold him off to where they get a breather and then someone gets a fucking Doom fist through their chest. You're like, oh, shit!
And, you know, I'm just saying, imagine if T'Challa, if they do recast, or if they would have recast, or whatever, got ahead of this before, because all these stories that are going on right now, Wakanda and T'Challa play major roles. Secret Invasion is going to, I mean, you look at Secret Invasion, what put T'Challa in the coma to begin with was the events of Secret Invasion.
Right.
So after that happens, and that was when Doom first kind of got into Wakanda. You know, Doom has had conversation with Bast. Doom has been in the mix of Wakanda before, bro. Like, this is not new. So I just think where we're going with this all, what we're seeing with the plot leaks and the multiple Black Panthers and the trailers lining up with the plot leaks, Doom's in this because we're in Secret Wars, and he has to be. So I just think that, again, it's still always going to be, for me, the butt T'Challa. This came from the ladies over at, this came from Denai, Letitia, and Lapita. They were doing an interview with Elle Magazine, and where they said the MCU actors cast doubt on Shuri becoming new Black Panther. They both said, which I think is bullshit, they both said, speaking to Elle, Lapita, who plays Nakia, reacted to the rampant speculation that Shuri will take on the mantle of Black Panther. We love the speculation. They're not getting it all right, added co-star Denai Guerrera. Before Lapita replied, no, they haven't guessed it all. Which I think that I think they're pulling an Andrew Garfield. You got to remember, Andrew Garfield lied to us for a whole year where we had 4K pictures of him in the suit. So I feel like it's pulling the saying that we're not getting it all right. I believe we are. I believe there are multiple Black Panthers, and we know that Shuri is one of them. Now, could we be missing something? Could we be missing an element of who could be in a suit? Maybe. But as far as like the crust of it all, I'm pretty sure we're hitting it all on the nail of the head. So I'm definitely, it's definitely interesting. It's interesting. But, you know, as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking of again, we've read this before, the plot leaks for Wakanda Forever. What are you thinking about Dr. Doom showing up in Wakanda Forever? I just think that is pivotal. I think that that's something that has to happen with where we currently are in the MCU. I do not like the whole multiple Black Panther suits thing. I didn't like that 2 months ago. I don't like it now. I'm not going to like it 2 months from now. I think that is just sending the wrong message. This is not the Green Lantern's Corps. This is not the Britain's Captain Britain's Corps. This is none of that. There aren't multiple Black Panthers. There have been Black Panthers before T'Challa, but there aren't multiple just running around in the suit getting together like the Avengers. So I don't like that either. And I don't. If Queen Ramonda does indeed die, again, what is the fascination with Black Death here? Why do we keep killing off prominent Black characters from their franchise? But again, maybe you guys feel different. Let me know too what you guys are thinking about the multiple Black Panthers thing. You might be feeling different about that than I am. But again, let us know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We will see you guys November 10th and 11th, because we will be seeing the film then on November 10th, and we'll give you guys a quick spoiler thoughts after the film.